Yo, what's up guys? So we got a fifth short film by BTS. Big Hit just dropped number 5. I thought we were done at 4 to be honest. Like I thought because of those 4 circles it was just gonna be 4, but nope, we got a 5th one. I mean, I'm okay with that, but like come on Big Hit, I need sleep here. So what are these short films like actually about? I've heard people in the comments calling them teasers. Does that mean like it's setting up for like an album release down the road, or are they kind of like a standalone thing? Either way, I'm just like, we're getting so spoiled as BTS fans from Big Hit for like all these videos just like day after day after day. Alright, so number 5 is called Reflection. You guys were telling me that English subs were más importante, so I went ahead and got those, so we're good. Let's get into this. I'll never get tired of those Big Hit bubbles. I just won't.
The other rhythm, however, overlapping half our house, was completely different. A loud mixture of horrendous, intriguing, frightful, mysterious things, including slaughterhouses and prisons, junkyards and screeching fishwives, calving cows, horses sinking to their death, tales of robberies, murders, and suicides.
Well, okay then. It's quite a way to set this up. We got a typical 8x20 shipping container. Who is that? Is that Ratman? That's where he's living then. Oh, we got the thing with the wings. It's about Jungkook then, or what? Reflection. He really likes that wing. Alright, so this isn't the first time he's given himself a tattoo. Now he burns it. Is he drinking? Some people just can't handle their alcohol, I guess. That reminds me of the painting. The very first one, the painting with like the tears coming down. We have to survive. We have to survive. This is like what the shipping container was, but now it's full of mirrors, hence reflection. And there was no mirrors before. Why is he covering his ears? Oh. Did not see that coming. Man, imagine how many years of bad luck that is. Okay, I'm done. Got a phone ringing. Alright, so just gonna go pick up that phone. There's no getting into that phone booth. It's completely locked up. Yo! I wish I could love myself. Liar. Dang, yo. And he can't answer. It's completely locked up. Okay, shattered glass. And of course, yeah, I mean, wouldn't that make sense though? You know, because like the whole wings, they were like so much of the same symbolism in both of those short films there. Alright, so normally I like to like start at the beginning of the short film and kind of work through it in chronological order and linear fashion so I can like break down and go through the analysis with you guys. But I want to start at the end because I feel like we just need to address the blaringly obvious. It ended with the phone call the Ratman couldn't answer. Then in the very last one with Stigma, it ended with the phone call V was trying to make. So it doesn't make sense here that like they're trying to contact each other, or different parts of the same person are trying to contact the host, the main character. I think it absolutely does make sense, because if you looked at the very last scene, it started saying, I wish I could love myself, meaning he has problems with himself, problems with his own actions, his own past, what happened, what he became. And we see more specifics on what he hates about himself when we see those red words bleed through the glass of that phone booth that says liar. That's the reality that he's viewing about himself. That's the issue he has with himself specifically here right now in this aspect. And we see V representing the innocent side, the pure side, the good side of the character, trying to reach out to Rapmon purely in hope, as a step of faith to try to break through the reflection that he has of himself as a liar. And we saw at the end, Rapmon couldn't answer the call. He couldn't connect with his innocent side. He couldn't connect with the pure side because of his own cage of shame about his reflection, his view of himself. Let's focus on the title real quick, Reflection. I think it's important to try to dissect the title because Big Hit always uses that to sort of drive where they want to go with these short films. When I think of reflection, I automatically think of mirrors, which makes sense here because we saw a lot of mirror symbolism, we saw a lot of mirror imagery throughout this whole short film. So ask yourself, why are mirrors important? Why do we use mirrors? Well, usually is to get a reflection of ourselves, is to get a view of ourselves. You don't realize really how much you use mirrors throughout your everyday life until you just don't have mirrors. I think back to the time that I spent 2 weeks in an orphanage in Guatemala for a missions trip, and I remember them not having any mirrors in this orphanage. For whatever reason, it's just like they had the base necessities there. Mirrors wasn't one of them. And then when I was there for 2 weeks, I immediately started realizing we use mirrors every day for a variety of reasons, mostly to view ourselves, in the morning to get ready, when you're leaving, you might be even checking yourself in your own rearview mirror to see yourself, even though you should be driving. When we go to the bathroom, there's typically a mirror there, which we'll use to check ourselves out, make sure everything's still there, nothing in your teeth, your hair's okay, makeup, clothing, whatever. In fact, a lot of us will go into the restroom when we don't even have to go to the bathroom. We're just checking ourselves in the mirror, making sure everything is where it needs to be. I mean, we check ourselves throughout the day using mirrors all the time just to make sure your reflection is the way you want it to be. And I noticed immediately here, before we got a glimpse into his subconscious, we saw the actual reality of him being in that shipping container and there's no mirrors. So why is this important? It's important because the dude is ashamed of his own reflection. He's ashamed of himself. He's ashamed of his image of himself. So he's hiding himself from all reflections, from all mirrors, so he doesn't have to even look at himself. That's how much he hates himself. This is echoed in the very end when it repeats, I wish I could love myself. I wish I could love myself. Because if he can't love himself, he can't face himself in the mirror, he's going to put himself in a cage, he's going to lock himself off from the communication of his innocent side because he doesn't believe that he's actually innocent. I'm going to say right off the bat that I was reading every single one of your guys' comments and you guys kept mentioning the book like Damien by Herman Hesse, and I had to look up the spark notes because I'm not about reading an entire book. So I was skimming through the spark notes and it just straight up blew my mind. And I think they're kind of Big Hit is using that book as their handbook for the way that they're drawing out and mapping out really the entire debut of BTS. I've seen it from way back in the beginning with the early music videos up until now. The symbolisms, the metaphor, they're making all the connections and it really seems to be deeply rooted in this book. So I started reading about it and I realized that it seems to me, and this is just an opinion that I've had, all these different short films, all these different members of BTS seem to be all different parts or different sides, different aspects of the same person. It seems to be of the same character. It's really interesting to see it from that lens and you start realizing, okay, well maybe in the third one, V was representing his innocence, the innocence of that character. And when you look at it through those lenses, it's really interesting how they connect around. So that has a lot of weight to that theory. Every aspect of every side of a persona, whether you have your guilt side, your innocent side, your angry side, your jealous side, your happy side, any side of yourself, they're all necessary components. You need all of those in perfect balance. And when they're out of whack, that's when things go wrong. That's when the crap hits the proverbial fan, and I think that's what's going on here. We don't know what the true reality is. We don't know which one of these backstories of these characters is actually the real truth. I would say that they all play an important part. They're all backstories as to why they're functioning the way that they are. But all these characters are very disconnected right now, and that's not a good thing. The best thing to happen is for them to be all in communication, working together. When you do something terrible, you need that shame. You need that anger, that agony. You need to have your innocence connect with you. You need to have your conscience reach out and contact you and say, listen, this is so far from where we're supposed to be. They're all centering them. And when you lose that center, when you get off balance, when you disconnect with every side, when you lose that equilibrium, that's when things are going wrong. That's the whole point of this whole thing. We see a lot of journeys, individual wandering, and that's not the way it was meant to be. That's not the way it was intended to be. The intended design was for them to all be working together, all be in communication, having almost a group of friends. If we saw back in the trilogy with BTS Run, I Need You, and Prologue, there were scenes when everything seemingly was great. They were all together and they were all communicating and just enjoying each other's company and just having a great relationship, a great bond. And we saw it as a group of friends, but I'm starting to see that as one person who's just in equilibrium with all the sides of himself. I realize this theory is way out there, but to me it's clear as day. It's the only thing that really makes sense to me with all these pieces fitting together, especially with the whole Damien story with Herman Hesse. I mean, that just makes sense. chance. We're gonna get more short films, I'm sure. I mean, after it broke that whole like 4 only thing, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have more. I wanna see the rest of the BTS members. I'm sure they'll show us eventually, right? So we'll get more information, we'll get more backstories, we'll get more hints, more keys to unlock what this is truly about, because no one really knows. We can only make educated guesses, and we've given it the good college try here, and I think that we're on point for the most part. There's gonna be stuff that we miss. There's gonna be things that we're not right about. Yo, to be honest, I really hope that these like never end, and I don't think that they will. As long as BTS is a thing, and as long as Big Hit keeps trucking along, they're gonna keep making this awesome content. I mean, I'm absolutely obsessed with this. I mean, they have a great business model. They've got the rich, deep content. They got the timing down to a T. They got the beautiful faces and the talent to pull it off. I love it. They've got a great business model, and I'm obsessed. All right, so number 6 is next. When is that coming out? Like tomorrow, maybe? I hope tomorrow. It could be like a week from now. I mean, they're gonna troll us because we're expecting it every day now, so they're probably gonna completely turn us around on our expectations. But until then, we just gotta wait in the meantime. There isn't a whole lot you and I can do about like rushing any more videos coming out. We just gotta let things happen the way they happen. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave your comments, your requests, your theories, anything that I missed. Leave it all down below. It could be the most random thing, like, oh, today I wanted to try on that new purple shirt I got, but I couldn't find any pants to go with it, so, you know, I don't know what to do. And I'll respond to the most random things. I secretly have no life, so I need to know all about yours. Please subscribe if you have not already. Definitely follow my Snapchat and my Twitter, and I will see you guys in part 6. Peace.